同学还有家长老师，大家好，非常欢迎来到 Uni Talk Show。我们今天超级开心，邀请到巴斯大学的管理学院的副教授，Associate Dean International Associate Professor in Marketing。就 Marketing 是台湾学生非常喜欢就读的科系，我非常开心邀请到 Dr. Nuttall。
你好。
对，就是我非常开心，所以我们有很多关于巴斯的问题，或者是大家可能近期对于去英国念书会有一些好奇想要知道的地方，我们今天希望借由教授的回答，让大家有更多的资讯。Recently, the time markets have been shifted a little bit from UK, and people show more strong interest in Australia. So they might choose Australia for its ranking and their perceived global value. How does the UK, particularly in business proficiency, compare in terms of academic excellency and global employability?
I think the first thing to say is that value is a relative concept. I don't want to sound academic, but value is a function of cost and benefit.
Yes.
I mean, both countries offer so many benefits.
That's true.
Teaching excellence, research excellence. But what the student might be looking for will be different in each case. And for me, it's about the benefits that they're seeking for and the cost that then incurs. And that relationship between cost and benefit is going to be different between different students. For example, proximity to home.
Yes.
Friends and family in the country already. Other qualities of the destination that might appeal to them, like things like weather. Some of those benefits we can't always calculate in an academic sense.
That's true.
However, firstly, I think one of the key differences would be the fact that typically an Australian master's degree would be 2 years. Particularly in the context of, say, that's 2 years more of study.
Yes.
2 years more of fees, 2 years more of accommodation cost.
Yeah.
It's 2 years that you're outside the job market until you can start. I think our 1-year degrees in the UK for most of our master's courses, particularly in, say, management or business, is a key difference. I think the second difference is, largely speaking, Australian university classes tend to be quite big. They go for size and they go for large lectures, for example. Unlike the UK, where I think, particularly at Bath, where I think there's more focus on probably smaller classes in general, that gives us an opportunity to be a little bit more personal, personalise the service, and offer more bespoke support services for students, because we don't have to deal with such large classes. I think those are the two main differences from an academic perspective. But as I said, I think both countries, from a ranking point of view, from a professional sort of level of service, very, very similar. But I think it's down to the student to understand where the key benefits for them are actually relevant to their personal circumstances, perhaps.
Yeah, so if you have, for example, budget concern, or you have limited time to achieve postgraduate study, I think probably UK is a better destination for you because of the time and financial management. Also, what makes the business program of University Bath stand out in the UK universities?
So, on the Bath, obviously, we specialise in our connections to industry. It's part of our DNA. Our history is very much embedded in industry and industry support, operation. And that's something I think we harness the diversity of the business sector very much within both things like curriculum development, opportunities for students for things like placements and internships. I can talk about that later in a bit more detail. But I think broadly speaking, in terms of particularly from an employment and work experience perspective, I think there are greater selection and diversity of opportunities for students in the UK compared to Australia because of the width of the business sector in terms of types of business, sizes of business, diversity of industry.
So if we compare Bath with other university in the UK. You are more industry orientated, that have a closer collaboration during student
it's all of those things. I think a very brief story about the university and where some of this comes from. So the University of Bath was born in 1966, and since then we've been developing and embedding industry as part of our DNA. It comes from the fact that the university was built on land that was donated on the premise that within our charter, which is what governs the university's mission and its vision and its governance. The university within its charter has the statement that we work with and collaborate with industry, mainly to develop the sort of regional economy, the national economy, and contribute to the welfare of society, for example, and economic welfare and people's prosperity. And I think from that origin, we've just made sure that over the years since, we've increased our connections to industry. We now work with over 3,000 companies, alliances with 3,000 companies. The school has a very active level of partnership with around about 1,200 companies. And they are very much part of our excellent program, the internship program. I'm sure it's known, for most students are familiar with the fact that 100% of our undergraduates have a placement opportunity. We're increasing that proportion also for postgraduate students. So within the School of Management, for example, at the moment we have 9 programs, 9 master's programs that have an internship embedded within the 12 months. We're expanding that number all the time. I think by 2026, I think most, if not all, of our master's programs in management will have an internship element.
Wow.
Which will be an option for the student. It's not compulsory. They can still do a dissertation, they can still do something which is more around something we call practice track, which is an option at the moment for most students. Practice track has been very, very popular with students because it puts them in the position where they are working with a company but within the environment of the university. So they can still remain in Bath but also working for a company at the same time, either on their own or in a small group. But that is such valuable work experience. The internships have been very popular, particularly with the areas of finance, entrepreneurship, sustainability, some of the more specialist subjects really benefit from having an internship. So we've worked really hard to make sure that the work practice-based learning that students get within Bath is something that is becoming very much a USP, a unique selling point of our university and the school. But it's a commitment. It's a commitment the university has to making sure that the student experience is not simply academic, that they are getting practical insight into how theory works in the organisation. And it's so much part of our ethos, our origination, our DNA. That's probably what stands the university out to a large extent from many others in the UK. I think the first thing to stress, and I'm not sure when students might look at this video or look at this footage, but the first thing to stress at the moment, it is still a white paper. It's still not law. I'm not saying it won't be. We just have to work with that, you know, and in many ways the university is doing a really good job of thinking now about, okay, let's just say it is 18 months instead of 2 years. Well, one thing we know, we're in a very good position to still maintain a close to 2-year work experience for students because of the internships that we offer.
Yes.
So if the internship is 3 months within the program and it's extended to another 3 months within the graduation period, they still get the 18 months following that, which still gives them the full 2 years.
Yes.
So I think we are, as a university, we are responding. We're not expecting students simply to accept the change. We will work with students to say, well, what else can we do to make sure that perhaps it's an acceleration that they need into those 18 months rather than maybe taking a bit more time because they have 2 years before. Maybe it's the acceleration into the job market that matters. So we give them a faster start. And we've got some ideas now about how to create fast start opportunities for students, and we're working on those now. And so we adapt, we change, we go with the flow. You know, the white paper is something that is only being very recently used. And universities are responding. But as I said, things still may change. What I do know is that students will still get exactly the same level of support, focus. As I said, maybe some adaptation in terms of maybe the speed might change, but the quality and the commitment on the part of the university in terms of giving them a good career will never change. That's something that which will endure any of those political changes. We just have to work with the opportunities that we get and government offers. That's the same all over the world.
Yes.
I look at it positively. I'm a positive person actually, but I think it's something which could have been worse. So I look at the upside to it, which is it's still there. The opportunity to work in the UK after you graduated is there.
Yes. Because sometimes through the news, people really kind of maximize the worst part. But actually, it's not that bad, especially with how University of Bath designed the program and with the original student visa policy, and plus the PSW working visa. It's as long as you know how to build up your own personal brand, your network, your skills, and use all the resources that the university provide as more as possible, actually the opportunity is still open arms to you.
I see Bath as being one of the more proactive. We're always trying to think one step ahead. Whether it's political change,
I think that's very
whether it's to do with company and industry sectors. And don't forget, we're talking about School of Management. We are a school of management. It's important to recognise the difference between that and a business school. Some students do ask, well, you're not a business school, it's a school of management. We focus on management, and that can affect things like you can end up working for government, public sector, charities, the third sector, there's a whole, and businesses. So the idea is, as a school of management, we focus on the management principles, which gives students a bit more flexibility in what they might do and who they might work for. I think it's quite important. It goes back to the point right at the start of this interview, talk about bandwidth, and making sure you're maximising your opportunity for work in possibly different sectors, different types of organisations. I think that's what School of Management specialises in, is making sure people and students and candidates for the future have an appetite for maybe not just a corporate, but maybe start a business, maybe work for government, maybe work in the public sector or for a charity, and do something different. So I think that's really important that I mention that, because we are a school of management.
I think that's very useful and very important for you to highlight the part, because sometimes during the translation we easily say we associate it with the business schools, but actually it's a management school, and management can cross every industry perspective. So it is important that you highlight that. So thank you so much today for sharing all the information. So 今天真的非常谢谢 Pete 博士来我们现场跟我们分享关于巴斯管理学院所有的给学生、国际学生的相关资源还有协助。那我相信大家听完之后，除了很向往学校，不管是很安全，或是很友善的，或是很丰富的学习环境，最重要的是他们帮助国际学生在即使是1年的研究所阶段，你从3个月的实习到学生签证有时候会再多给3个月，那你还可以再利用那3个月，如果你实习表现很好，还有那3个月的工作，其实你根本不太需要去担心近期英国政府的白皮书相关政策会对你有什么影响。所以如果你的目标是希望未来在英国不管念商业，你的专长是商，但是你希望有更多工作不同机会的领域，又或者是你希望借由在英国很短的时间加强自己不同文化的职涯量能的话，其实巴斯大学真的是大家非常好的选择。那今天非常感谢大家，希望大家对于今天内容有很多的收获。那我们就 Uni Talk 下次见。Thank you, Pete. Thank you for coming. 谢谢，拜拜。